camera foggy as fuck. Alright, we straight. We got
Shalom, Yeshua. First and foremost, we want to give all praises and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem,
God Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Aki. Let's preach the word in all truth and sincerity. We here with Israelites here to prophesy America's downfall, which America, according to the Bible, is Babylon the Great or the daughter of Babylon. We're here to teach repentance to our people, to elect our people, to our so-called Negroes, how to love their Americans, which are the true Hebrew Israelites. You know, Esau Edom, so-called white man is Esau Edom. MOTV is a paradigma, also known as an implantable device that will go in either hands or your forehead, according to Revelation 13:16. That infrastructure is already here, but very soon it's going to come to pass. You know, at least in Esau wants to usher in a new style of currency, which should be digital currency. And we're here to warn you of these things before they come to pass. You know.
Arise, O Lord, lift up thy hand.
And the title of this camp is Arise, O Lord, lift up thy hand. You know, which we know in Hebrew, the word hand is Yah, which means strength and power. Because when Yahweh Shemon Shai to provide his work as in the days of old. We go to Psalm 19, talk about the Psalm to be all over the work. Okay. Unless you guys know.
It is time for thee, O Yahweh, to work, for they have made void thy law.
Yeah, so it's time for Yahweh Shemon Shai to work. Now, what does that mean? That means that in regards of bringing his justice out on the earth. You know, famine, pestilence, race wars, earthquakes, you know, through mass death, cannibalism, you know, because they have made void the Lord's law. Because they make the laws and commandments, these people look at as it's done away with, you know. Oh, that was in the past. But the scriptures say, remember ye the old ways wherein was a good way, and keep them, you know. Yeah. So the Lord's word, the laws and commandments are still in existence today, man.
Book of Malachi says the Most High will not change.
Yep. So the Heavenly Father Yahweh changes not, man. Neither does his judgments. You know?
This is Psalm 105, verse 7. He is Yahweh, our power, his judgments are in all the earth.
Right. Precept. So he is Yahweh, our power, his judgments are in all the earth. You know? And the Lord has specific types of justice for certain people. Jeremiah 15.
Okay. This is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 1. Then said Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be towards this people.
Right. You know, Moses represents the law, and Samuel represents the prophets. You know, because our people, they couldn't stand before the Lord because the Lord has cast them out from being the people for a certain amount of time. But through Yahweh Shai's blood, he came back through the council of reconciliation. You know.
Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. Yep. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith Yahweh, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity.
Yeah, so the Lord has different types of judges for different types of people. It says sword. You know, Esau is the ultimate modern day sword. Esau, the so-called right man, was blessed with the sword, and he comes out with great wrath, according to Revelation 12:12. And you're going to use this sword upon your people. You know, the non-elect, man. You be the nations. artificial intelligent robots and super soldiers, you know, direct energy type weapons, you know. So he's going to use these things upon you, 2/3 of Israel, and you heathen nations, you know. And it says death to death. The Lord's going to have people die of previous deaths, man. Getting mauled by beasts out here, from the bears, from the lions, from the tigers, you know. It says from captivity, you know, because a lot of people are going to die in people camps, because they're going to be held in the captive state by being rolled into the people camps and concentration camps, man. You know.
Jeremiah 15, verse 3, and I will point over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and dogs to tear, and the fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy.
Yeah, you know. Remember, the Lord can bring judgment in any type of form, man. You know. Because remember, the Lord controls all spirits on the earth, even the spirits and animals. You know. And once the Lord punches your ticket, so to speak, there's no way you can forsake that judgment from the Lord, man.
Alright, this is Amos 9. This is Amos chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord.
Right. Now, the sinful kingdom first applied to the nation of Israel. You know, because the time Amos said this, you know, it was wicked Israelites being rebellious and worshiping other gods besides their own God, Yahweh Shemon Shai. So now, prophetically, the sinful kingdom is America. And the Lord is going to destroy this kingdom off the face of the earth by the ICBM missiles.
All right, for lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve.
Yeah.
Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
Right, the least grain that represents the land. And how the Lord is sifting Israel right now is by way of doctrine. You know, because you have a lot of Israelites that resonate with other Israelite camps based on what they teach. For example, having long hair. You know, you can shave your beard. You can have lineups. You know, some people join the camps. You know, based upon how you look, man.
All the gimmicks and stuff.
All the gimmicks and stuff. You know,
Carrying guns.
Right, carrying guns. But that's a sifting process the Lord is doing for the undesirables that He doesn't want.
Dreadlocks and all that madness.
Verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Yep. Yep, which we all sin and come short of glory of the Most High. But the sinners of this scripture is talking about the 2/3. You know, the non-repentant sinners. See, we're sinners, but we're repentant. You know, and it says, read that again.
It says in verse 10 in Amos 9, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
Yeah, the sword is the ultimate sword is the ICBM missile. You know, they will ultimately die in America by that nuclear sword, man.
Which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Because the world doesn't think that the Lord is going to bring down His judgment, man. So they're, they settle on their leaves, as the scripture says. You know, so they don't think that judgment is going to befall them. You know, but you reap what you sow, man. Yeah.
Verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
And the Lord is doing that now, spiritually. You know, by way of the elect being gathered by the word of the Holy One, you know, but real soon it's going to come physical. You know, when the Lord raises up his elect men of Israel with spiritual power, man.
I will send for many fishers, and then I will send for many hunters.
It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof.
Right, and the breaches thereof, that's a difference between the tribes, all 4 tribes, man. Because remember, it says in Isaiah 11:13 that Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not envy Ephraim. So right now, it's a tribal difference, a tribal hatred amongst the 12 tribes. But now, the elect is all 12 tribes, and from the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, they're all coming gathered together by the word of the Holy One, which is the elect being gathered together. You know?
says, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Yeah, so the Lord's raising up King David's ruins right now. You know, spiritually by way of the work, but it's going to be physically in the kingdom of heaven, and King David will be in the kingdom. You know, because like Apostle Gabar said, without King, how are you going to have the tabernacle of David without King David? You know, so the Lord's going to bring back King David in the kingdom.
This is Psalm 107, verse 20. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions.
So right, we are in the process of healing. You know, because our people are being healed by the word of the Holy. You know, because now they're not being captive to being, they're not limited to being black, Hispanic, Native American. Those bywords that our oppressors have put upon us. You know, they're not being bound to black, Hispanic, Native American culture. They're not being bound to the standard American diet, to these Westernized philosophies, man, mindset. You know, being a metrosexual, being effeminate, being feminist. Our people are not being held captive to those mindsets, man. See?
This is John 8 and 31. Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed.
Right. You know, because if you continue the Lord's word, meaning you endure to the end, that means you are the Lord's elect. You see? Because it's good to say, he that endures to the end, the same shall be saved.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So the elect will know the truth, man. You know? I will stir your mind of remembrance, though you once knew this. So if you know this truth now, that means you knew it in the ancient world. You know, and you come back in your life. If you were a prophet in your past life, you'll come back in your next lifetime as a prophet of the highest, man.
The spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet.
This is 2nd Esdras 16 and 36. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake.
Yeah, so behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. See, our people, which we already know, according to the prophecy, that only the elect is going to receive it. You know? But you got to receive the whole doctrine, the nastiness of the law,
The sweet and the bitter.
Sweet and the bitter. You know? And the elect, Yahushua even said that blessed are those that are not offended in them. So the elect is not going to be offended in Yahweh Shemashai. Why? Because the Lord put the Spirit on them to receive the truth. The full, unadulterated truth. See?
Yeah, it's not displaying on YouTube right now. 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh.
It's like it said, believe not the gods whom the Lord spake. Who are these modern gods that our people worship? You know, Christianity, they worship Cedric Borgia, the so-called white man. You know, being a Kemet, being a Buddhist, being a Islamic. You know, don't believe all those gods that the Lord has spake, has warned our people not to believe. Because why? Because that's not the truth. You know.
Verse 37 in 2nd Esdras 16. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in her 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains can pass her womb.
Yeah,
which
so,
pains.
So the plagues are coming and not slack, man. You know, because it's a big destruction that's going to befall America very soon. You know, like I said, you know, the famine, the pestilence, the race war, you know, female cancer, concentration camps, people committing cannibalism. Them are plagues that's going to come upon the earth, man. And we're already seeing the love of many rise to cold already. You know, we're seeing an uptick in a lot of people looting storehouses. Just recently, I sent it in the chat that they was looting, it was a smashing grab, you know, on that company,
Lululemon, I think.
Yeah, Lululemon, you know.
Nordstrom's.
Another one I sent though. Chanel, you know. So it's already people are tired of working these jobs. You know, people are feeling the effects of inflation. You know, having to budget their money. Some families are going to go on to bed at night without eating. You know, people are waking up to the college admits that it's a scam. You said the article in the chat. You said somewhere 40% of Americans is
Oh yeah, well that one said 40% of Americans is they're financially, you know, burdened with the up and coming holiday season.
Right. Yeah. You know.
But what you were saying, people's waking up to the college scam. You know, a lot of people was hearing their family members and close relatives suffering from having to pay back money for these for the college. Meanwhile, they don't have a job, right? They still staying with their parents. You know, they finding challenges to get a job in the field that they went to college for. So, you know, college is looked at now as a great scam.
A great scam.
And only when you look at college students, these people are bugged out, weirdos, and just of the base sort. You know, there's no people that's sharp and really on a level. You know, these are the outcasts that go to college.
And then like the downfall or the downfall, the dynamic of the relationship. You know, between the man and the woman. You got gender wars. You know. A lot of men is waking up. That's why men is going to other countries, because they see the westernized woman is full of shit, man. You know, so all this is leading to the love of many Grassy Code, which will lead to crime, because people are waking up that this place is not it.
Yeah, that's facts.
You know.
2 Esdras 16 and 38. As when a woman with child in her 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains can pass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
Right. And we know that child represents our Lord Yahweh Shai when he comes back. And them pains, also known as contractions, you know, are the plagues, because the more and more the woman about to deliver a child, the more and more the pain gets, the more intensified the pain gets. So the more, Allah Yahweh Shai, the more and more he's about to come back, the more and more the play is going to intensify, man. And the only way out is you being an Israelite, by the way, first and foremost, you being part of the elect, and you're going to be delivered from the said perils. That's what comes from.
And Salakia, but the Most are also using this to define its inevitability. Right. It's going to happen. Because a child getting ready to come, ain't nothing stopping that child from coming.
And all kingdoms suffered violence before their downfall. So America is no different. You know? In fact, America means better.
Yep. Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn.
Yeah, the war going, because the world is already mourning right now, man. But when there's no food,
No, I was just saying financially.
Oh yeah. Financially, yep. But when there's no food in the storehouses, the elites of Esau know they can control the people through the food. Harry Kissinger, because he's the Edomite, one of the Lord luminaries, he said that, made a statement one time, control the food, control the people.
Yep.
So they know that. And we know the account in ancient Egypt. People were willing to sell themselves just to eat some food, man.
Because of the famine.
So people are going to sell themselves out to take that MOTB in order to eat. And in fact, and on top of that, you're not even promised you're going to eat.
Yeah.
Because Esau is not a man of his word. You see?
He ain't a man that she shouldn't lie.
Yeah.
He will lie.
He will lie to you. You know?
Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side.
On every side, man. So wherever you turn, man, it's going to be a plague, man. You're not going to escape. You know, keep on that. Amos talks about
Yeah. As if, yeah.
So nobody going to escape this judgment from the Lord, man. You know?
Amos 5.
That's why Lord want we be part of the elect. You know? We keep continuing to push the word so we can get have that hedge. Right.
This is Amos chapter 5 verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Yeah, because these people, they don't know the truth. They don't know the true meaning of the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. You know, but they desire because they think our Lord Yahweh Shai, when they call Jesus Christ, will come with lollipops and roses, man. You know?
It says Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him.
Yeah, so in other words, you're not going to be able to escape your judgment, man. You know? You can flee from one, for example, you can be in the FEMA camp, right?
Yeah.
And you can escape it somehow. The Lord can have you escape. But you'll be led to another place.
The militia.
Yeah, you might be led to a group of cannibals.
Yeah.
You know, imagine that. You fleeing, you think you safe, you left, you flee from the concentration camp, and you be led to a cannibals.
Wow.
That's even worse. You know? And that serpent, you know, we know that serpent is Esau, man. So you can be all good, you can be stationed in the stationary house, cool, but once you leave that house, Esau can apprehend you and throw you in the FEMA camp and then make you take the MOT.
Torture you first, then make you take it.
All right, verse 20, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark with no darkness in it?
Yep, so the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Very dark. So, and for you Israelites, man, you get it, and people just pass by like, you know, ain't nothing gonna happen. But hey, it's gonna happen, man.
But this is how the Lord works, though,
right?
You know, when people least expect it, he brings. Scripture speak about on a sudden.
Yeah.
Let me try to find that real quick. It's how the storehouses become unsown.
And that's how you know this is the truth, because you know this truth is precious. You know, something that's precious, everybody is not meant to get it, to receive it. Only the ones that's allowed to get it, to receive it, which is the elect. So the Lord don't want everybody, man. So if you didn't take heed, if you didn't believe, guess what? It was meant for you. It was meant for you not to believe, man. Let all the unfaithful die the unfaithfulness. You know? And a lot of you women gonna be getting, you know, raped. You know, you're gonna be getting held hostage.
Yep.
You know, because your woman beauty gonna be a curse to you in that day, man.
Yeah. Scriptures talk about wives ravished.
Yeah, wives ravished.
Yeah,
you know,
so
that's what happens.
definitely
a lot of men, that you live around watching. You know, they videotape you. You know, they secretly, you know, stalk you, man.
Yep, they desire you, lust. You know.
The only thing that's holding back is the law. You know, so when it's lawless out here, there's no
order. Ain't no more 911.
Ain't no more 911. You women gonna be the first. All that feminist spirit, that independent woman spirit, is going to go out the window, man.
That's out the window.
You know? Because your women are not built for adversity. You know?
The weaker vessel.
The weaker vessel, that's right.
Yeah, this is 2nd Ezra 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown.
See, it says suddenly. Now I'm looking at that word suddenly real quick. Suddenly means quickly and unexpectedly, man. So Esau can shut down the storehouses quickly by not sending imports to that specific stores, man. Or let alone at the ports. You know, not letting the truck drivers go on the strikes, do the gas and stuff. The Lord can cause a famine like that too.
That's facts.
You know?
And suddenly doesn't mean just overnight, which the Lord can do that. But shit, you can be in a situation where then last week it wasn't like this. You know, that's on the sudden. You know, or last month. And last month everything was cool, everything was normal, and now this month everything is fucked up. So the Lord can, you know, just switch it up, switch the whole vibration of the world quick.
Like that Crown Vic.
Oh yeah.
That Crown Vic was sudden, bro.
Yeah,
he was laughing and scoffing.
Yeah.
You know, then they end up taking it. You know?
Yeah. And look, at the way it hit you, 1 minute everything cool, the next minute people fighting over toilet paper.
Exactly.
And
you see what I'm saying? So
alcohol.
that was sudden.
Right.
standing on line to get into the store. That was sudden, bro.
And the same people, and the same men that the people laughed at were the same men that didn't take the MOT. You know? People that laughed and scoffed, you the ones that took it. And some of you died of that. You know?
Yep,
so that was the
unalive.
Lord making mockery of you, man. See?
2 Ezra 6:22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
Yep. Found empty, man. Imagine going to a store, your favorite store, your Food for Less, your Targets, your Walmarts, and it's empty. Imagine that. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know?
And the trumpet shall give a sound, when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid.
And we're blowing the trumpet right now. You know? That trumpet is a warning for your Israelites to repent. You know? And our blood, we're washing off the blood of our hands by warning you Israelites to repent.
I want to make a comment on it. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. So like the brother was saying, that's the prophets out here prophesying the truth. When they hear this message, it makes them afraid. It makes them uncomfortable. That's why they want us to prophesy unto them smooth things and prophesy deceits. They don't want to hear this message because the message makes them feel uncomfortable. We're telling them to repent, convert, worship the true power. Don't do this, don't do that. The Lord has established us as judges. You know, Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show Jacob his transgressions and Israel their sins. So we're in a position of judges. Look, you going off. We showing them their sins. Long hair is wickedness. You know what I mean? Eating this and that is wickedness. That's, you know, eating foods that are abominations in the sight of the Lord, that's wickedness. You know? Let me get this over here, Jeremiah. I don't know why online it says I never had this happen. It just says up and coming schedule. It says schedule. Somebody's in there waiting. Somebody's liking it. It's streaming here. But when I stop it, do you wish to end stop broadcasting? So do y'all want to stop this and start it back, or do y'all want to just run the whole camp?
I want to make sure you're getting the video.
Right.
I want you to make sure that
you relaunch it versus doing the whole
don't
camp.
matter. Just as long
And
as
then it doesn't load up.
I'll stop mine too. And if we want to make sure you're getting the video, man. It's about the show.
Stop.
And we doing the work. If we have control over it, let's take control.
Public. Yeah. It says public. It says access now. So it says
You on? It says live. It says the numbers are moving.
Yep, everything look good on there. But you know what? These updates, a phone update, that's all I don't do updates. Do updates, now you got to go back in there and tweak the settings and shit.
Waiting.